I'm gonna let Huckleberry in until you get back.
Okay, sure.
But I don't know.
I'll just join different squad.
All right. Sorry.
Oh, I just barely.
Or I'll kick Huckleberry when you get back
Damn.
Oh, I actually got the guy on the AT gun. Oh my god. 462 meters.
in. You.
With the bar.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. Someone hold him back. He's become too powerful.
Jesus.
Too powerful.
That's ridiculous. Hey, welcome back. There's some things I want to talk about when it comes to Hell Let Loose. Now, as someone who's put a ton of time into this game, I absolutely love this game. I'll preface it with that because there are some things that need to be fixed. One of them is Stalingrad. Stalingrad has been an issue since its release. They did do a patch which, fixed it 50% of the way, but the amount of stutters in Stalingrad literally prevents you from getting kills. I would really love to see this map fixed. It is a fun map. It has a lot going for it. But we need the new team at Team 17 to really put some time and effort into fixing this map. Another map I always get stutters on, and I have ever since the release of the version 2, is Hurtgen Forest. Now, some of you may have perfectly smooth gameplay. That is a well-known thing, but it's also well known that there's a lot of people who do not have great performance on either of those maps. There's some people who don't have good performance on Carrington, which has been that way since that map came out. I have always had pretty decent performance on Carrington. Not really any stutters, not really any issues overall. Another thing that this game is really good at is reminding you of everything that needs to be fixed. And you'll notice these moments as you're dying. The first one is the loadout bug. Sometimes you just need to come in with a satchel and you need to blow up a tank real quick and you get your loadout and it's a level 1 loadout. And this happens quite often. This has happened more often to me in Update 12 than it ever has. And if I remember right, there was a supposed fix for this, which didn't seem to turn out very well. Another thing that this game does is the grenade bug. I can't tell you how many times I've died because my grenade won't throw. And I don't know what's been happening recently. I don't really know if this game gets updated behind the scenes and we just don't notice it. Like if we don't, if we go into Steam and we don't see an update available, is the game still getting updated in the background with no actual update? I'm not sure how any of that works. But I can say that the loadout bug has been much worse, and the grenade bug has been, I'd say, probably the worst it's been. There's nothing worse than coming over a hill to throw a grenade, and you throw it, and it doesn't go anywhere. And then you can't even rethrow it. You have to switch weapons, ADS, and then you can go back to throwing the grenade. But by that time, you're probably already dead. Another thing that's been happening with this bug is apparently it's been pointed out to me that when you're running, the grenade bug happens more often. So I don't know if that's correlated with it, but it seems to be true as well. Another thing that's been happening to me when I get the grenade bug is my gun will just fire automatically. Like I'll switch to the gun and the moment I do, it just fires automatically. Now, my gun has fired automatically probably 100 times or so throughout the course of playing this game. And it's usually from the grenade bug or like coming out of the map or the options screen where I've actually left the game and came back into the game. I don't understand what's going on there, but man, sometimes it gives your position away, and just another reminder of things that need to be fixed in this game. In the roadmap, they showed that there was going to be a campaign mode. I really, really, really hope that the devs are putting some time into a campaign mode or a training mode, something like what Squad has, where you can shoot the guns, you can build stuff, you can, figure out the game a little bit before you join. Because the player base here, I'm just going to say it, they're about as lazy as I've seen in a very long time. And I'm not blaming the new guys who are level 11s joining in. I've actually had some great experiences recently with some really low-level guys who know how to drop OPs. They know how to check the map and build a garrison when they're standing on supplies. What I'm talking about is these level 70 to 125. These are some of the laziest players I've seen in this game. And I get it, man. You don't want to play squad leader all the time. I totally understand. But at the same time, it seems like a lot of people still think that just getting kills is how you win, and that if you've gotten, a bunch of kills, that you've done your part. Well, sure, it's pretty exciting to get kills. We all love looking at that score screen at the end. But another thing is when you do go out and you build garrisons, you are paying attention to the map, you are communicating, you are helping players learn how to win. And yes, there are a lot of people in this game who play this game to win. Some of you think that winning just isn't a big deal in this game, and there you are on a locked objective, 2 objectives deep. None of you have redeployed, and there's 25 of you sitting there, and I can see you spinning circles on the map for some reason. And I don't know if it's because you think the rest of the team will handle it, but it's kind of getting a little out of hand. And this might even come from the game always being on sale. I know if I had a product and, I was just giving it away, it probably wouldn't have much value to the owner. And that goes for anything and everything. So, Team 17, I really hope you guys don't just keep putting this game on sale because you need a couple more people to download it. Because there's no way with as small a player base as Hell Let Loose has that offering the game for a discount or even free is getting that much more money in the door. What would get people in the door is if you addressed the bugs and if you went through and actually fixed the bugs. Now that may be a tall order. People have been screaming about it for a long time. But I think it's about time you guys spend some time and really go back and fix these major issues in the game. Now, some of you new players might not play this game a lot or even notice the issues that the game has. Or you may have that magical system that just runs the game flawlessly, which I doubt. But a lot of you don't seem to see it. And I get it. I never had these issues with the game until roughly update 9. The grass came in, and that really started the issues. And now, with enemies rendering in at 500 meters, I just think there's and windows that don't render in at 60 meters. I think there's a lot that could be done to mitigate these FPS drops and 1% lows, and it doesn't require the visibility of enemies. Now, if you're making the enemies render in at 500 meters so they can run safely to the objective, that is just really stupid. How are people going to learn if you just nerf it? I mean, Battlefield 5 did that when they changed the TTK for new players, and then they added aim assist for controllers at the same update, and all of a sudden people became bullet sponges. And this game's hit detection is already shitty enough where enemies are bullet sponges. I can't tell you how many people I've shot up close range, in the chest, and they just turn around and shoot me. There's been times where I've shot 3 bullets into a guy at 5 meters away while he's laying down, and he doesn't die and turns around and shoots me. I just don't understand how this can be a thing that's not been addressed, it's not been looked at, it's been absolutely ignored. And which is why I firmly believe that the devs don't really play this game. And hey, understandable. I mean, I was a painter for many years. Do you think I want to come home and paint my house? No. So I totally get it. But in reality, what the devs need to do, not even the devs, you know what I mean, it's the whole company, it's the management especially, they need to understand why the player base is the way that it is. It's from everything, from dropping supplies to building nodes to having to pull someone's hair out just to build a garrison or drop an OP. It would be nice to have some level of campaign that helps these players understand Hell Let Loose, because at its core, it's super basic. Super basic. Take an engineer, build nodes so the commander has resources. Drop supplies so your squad leader can have a garrison. The supply truck in the beginning of the match should be used for a squad leader and an engineer, so you can drop supplies in the third square, engineer can build nodes in the second square, and the squad leader can take the other box of supplies up for an attacking garrison. This can happen in a 2-minute span. But for some reason, games still go on for sometimes 15 to 20 minutes and nobody has built a garrison. Let alone some of you guys just, taking the trucks up and driving right into the point and fucking getting destroyed. Who did that help? And then that same person will leave the server right after it happens when he realizes there's no garrison. But anyways, with that said, this game is still a blast, especially when you play it with friends and you have great communication and you're just having an all-around good time. It would just be nice, and I know it's asking a lot, if the game didn't remind you all the time of the things that need to be fixed. The devs, I would give anything for you guys to fix the stutters and fix the low FPS so people with medium spec PCs can enjoy the game. I'm not talking epic settings, but can they at least enjoy shadows and textures on high? Like, that would be cool. The game just looks so much better when you can play it on high settings. One thing that reminds me of the way the game used to be, which was before they brought in trucks. Before they brought in trucks, you used to have to run to the middle objective. And at that point, everybody understood the importance of garrisons. And now that there's vehicles, nobody cares about garrisons. And you can think of garrisons as your flag in the sand. It's the sector that you own. Picture it as the sector that you own. A garrison is planting a flag. We own this sector. And still none of you do it, which means that you don't really own or control that sector. It's a real shame. The amount of times I've actually seen 8 garrisons on the map in the last year, it's probably less than 20 times. And I just don't get it. Like, the game used to let you build 10. And there was times where people had 10 because it is all you had to prevent the enemy from pushing in. And now, we're still seeing matches that are steamrolled in 15 minutes. It happens all the time. In the last week, I've seen 3. So that's pretty bad. And day games, I don't know what it is with day games either. Or playing on Sundays during the day is about the worst experience Hell Let Loose has to offer. And I don't know if it's just the new players, it's the one time of the week people get to play it, and so, they're a little rusty and not, doing what needs to happen. But one garrison sitting on the objective you're trying to defend will almost never work when all it takes is one bombing run to wipe it all out. And then you've lost the game. You've lost the game in the last 2 minutes. I see this happen quite often. But regardless, I think this is a game that a lot more people should get into, especially if you're a fairly intelligent individual and love a bit of strategy as well as having to be, good at shooting. And to be honest, the game really doesn't require you to be that good at shooting. There's other roles you can take on and be successful in this game. Maybe you just like hunting for garrisons, taking down nodes, running around in the backfield. Then there's a place for you on the battlefield. When I look at the roadmap, there's not a lot of things that really interest me that much, because I know the game needs attention in other places that would make the game almost flawless. And I know people don't like the artillery. I, for one, cannot stand the artillery. So I do hope if deployable mortars come out that they just get rid of artillery entirely. I know some of you guys like it, but the fact that artillery doesn't destroy garrisons, not only does it just prevent movement on the map, but it doesn't show the importance of garrisons. If artillery destroyed garrisons, everybody would understand, and there would be way more garrisons being built during a match, which would be awesome. You'd always have a great place to push in. You'd keep the enemy guessing all the time. This one simple change is what created this stalemate type of gameplay where you can't push in because you're just getting hammered. And it's just annoying. It's just the most annoying thing in the game. Snipers have to spend their time going back to artillery, which, you know, it's what they're there for. But it's just not that great of a gameplay mechanic, which could be removed and you'd literally make the game better. The flamethrowers, I would love to see the flamethrowers. I would love to see the British faction. I hope they bring in the Sten. I would love to use that. The Lee Enfield, even more, would be awesome. I really hope Team 17 takes what they have, takes their purchase, and makes something special out of this game. It doesn't need anything more arcadey. It's already leaned a little bit that way. But understand that going back and attempting to fix these bugs with real world results, not half fixes that we think might work and then we spend months to a year dealing with it. I really hope they can gather up some time and effort to just clean it up. The game's been out for a while now. Update 10's been released for a long time. Version 1, I get we'll get to version 2 and 3 and whatever. And stuff like that, but we want the game to run smooth. There's no reason a game should be dipping into the 50 FPS mark with a high-end graphics card. There's just no reason for it. I don't know why we don't have DLSS in this game. Maybe it's an engine issue and it just can't be. I have no idea. But I really think this game has the potential to be the best first-person shooter. It has everything going in its favor. If we can fix the garrison situation, lazy squad leader situation, lazy communicator situation, then this game won't be dull let loose. Until then, guys, enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Hope you have a great week.
Good job.
Thank you.
Careful, something's coming from the south side of Red.
Still one by the.
Do you guys prefer to push or to defend?
I mean, I always prefer to push, but, you know, most games have lack of defense.
Okay, for the moment, I'll send you outposts for offensive.
Wow. I am fucking sick of this goddamn shit.
Why are these other squads
I'm
running
here
out
to-
into the railroad tracks when they need to be moving into the point that we're losing?
Because they think that the only way you get kills is just pushing. Man, dude. I try to get like little increments to move onto their fucking bodies and it just stutters, dude.